Hi, my name is Mel and I'm going to be discussing some hard drive basics, okay? What a hard drive actually is. A hard drive, or HDD, is a storage device that keeps your data even when the power is off. It stores the operating system, programs, documents, photos, and everything else on the computer. Unlike RAM, which is temporary, a hard drive is permanent storage. The two main types of drives, modern computers use a HDD or hard disk drive, which is mechanical spinning disks. Key traits: it's cheaper, larger capacities, slower, and more fragile. Okay, then there's a solid state drive or SSD. There's no moving parts, uses flash memory. So key traits: much faster, more reliable, currently a little bit more expensive per gigabyte, and silent. Even though SSDs are replacing HDDs, the fundamentals of storage still apply, yes. How a mechanical hard disk drive or HDD works. So inside a HDD, you will find platters, which are circular discs coated with magnetic material. They spin about 5,400 to 7,200 RPM, or sometimes a lot more in enterprise drives, I just want to say. So they have a read-write head, a tiny magnetic center that floats nanometers above the platter. It changes magnetic patterns to write data and reads them back. Actuator arm moves the head across the platter like a record playing arm. Controller board. The drive's brain manages data, caching, and communication with the computer. So the controller board, yeah, so the cache, the buffer, a small amount of fast memory used to speed up operations. How SSD, which is a solid state drive, works. This SSD uses NAND, N-A-N-D, flash memory, similar to USB sticks, but far faster and more durable. So the key components are NAND chips, which stores data as electrical charges. Controller manages wear leveling, error correction, and speed. DRAM cache in many SSDs. There's no moving parts, faster, quieter, more shock resistant, more durable. Okay, and maybe not as big a capacity as HDD. It's getting there, but not quite yet. Improvements in SSDs will make that better. Okay, so how the data is stored. Data is stored as binary, zeros and ones. So in a HDD, uses magnetism. One magnetic orientation equals 0. The opposite orientation is a 1. In an SSD, it uses an electrical charge. A charged cell equals 1, uncharged cell equals 0. Okay, file systems. A file system is a method that the operating system uses to organize data. So common ones are NTFS, Windows, exFAT, which is cross-platform, APFS, Micro OS, ext4, which is Linux. So the file system keeps track of where files are stored, free space, metadata such as dates, permissions, etc. Why do hard drives slow down? Okay, so fragmentation, mechanical wear, failing read-write heads, slow RPM, full drive, less room for temporary files. SSD slowdowns, nearly full drive, worn NAND cells, thermal throttling, and cheap controllers. So common hard drive problems are like bad sectors, so areas of the disk that can't reliably store data. So symptoms could be slow performance, corrupted files, clicking noises on an HDD, mechanical failure, which is a HDD problem, clicking, grinding, drive not spinning. Control failure, drive not detected or behaving erratically. File system corruption, which can be caused by crashes, power loss, or malware. Wear out, which is an SSD problem. Flash memory has a limited number of write cycles. How to check drive health. So in Windows, you can go to PowerShell, run as administrator, and it's called Check Disk, CHKDSK. Smart data tools via Crystal Disk Info, Task Manager, Performance Disk. Okay, there's multiple ways and different things will tell you different information. So Mac OS, Disk Utility First Aid, Smart Status in System Report. And in Linux, Smart CTL, FSCK, or GNOME disks. Smart self-monitoring analysis and reporting technology. It tracks drive health indicators. Okay, so how to maintain a drive with HDD. Defragment occasionally. Windows should do this automatically. If it doesn't, you can just go into settings and make it do it. Avoid physical shocks. Keep the drive cool and don't just power off your computer. Shut it down properly. Try and avoid, a lot of electrical shutdowns. You'll just fry the computer. Keep it cool. Avoid shocks. Keep it away from strong magnetic forces, obviously. An SSD. Never defragment that because it wears a drive. Leave 10 to 20% free space. Enable trim. Modern operating systems do this automatically. So when a driver is failing, the signs clicking or grinding, HDD, slow boot times, corrupted files, disappearing folders, operating system freezing, smart warnings. If you see these, back up immediately, replace the drive, avoid running heavy scans on a dying HDD can accelerate failure. The big picture, hard drives, whether mechanical or solid state, are all about storing data, retrieving data, keeping it safe and doing it fast and reliability, and they will wear out. So you will have to replace them. So as I always recommend minimum 2 methods of backing up information. So if you're going to back it up to your local device, whether that's a hard disk drive or solid state disk drive, you should also have an external drive and should back up on the cloud. Okay, back up. Trust me. A lot of issues people have is because they have not backed up the power goes and the computer crashes and you've lost everything in a lot of cases. So look, please, back up your systems. That's probably the best method. All right, thank you.